We're coming to you live from our headquarters in Auckland Park. This is Prime News on SABC 3. Here are the top stories making headlines this evening.
Why do you save the nephew's phone under the name Comrade Didi Mabuza, Deputy President?
That is how I felt I should save it.
WhatsApp exchanges before the Madlanga Commission revealed that an arms deal allegedly took place between Witness F and the later Deputy President David Mabuza.
It is quite disingenuous on the part of DCS at this point to say he would still be able to access his legal team, because that is not practically correct.
Convicted murderer and rapist Thabo Bester is set to challenge his prison transfer at the Pretoria High Court next week. And there are reports that DA leader John Steenhuisen will not run again for party leader. Good evening and welcome to Prime News on 3. I am Paulette. Now, tonight we bring you the day's top stories, from the latest developing headlines here at home to important updates around the world. We'll also have your sports update and weather. With that said, let's get into it without further ado. This leads our bulletin tonight. The WhatsApp exchanges before the Madlanga Commission revealed that an arms deal allegedly took place between Witness F and the late Deputy President David Mabuza. However, the witness claims that he was actually communicating with Mabuza's nephew. That's despite the fact that he saved the number in his phone with the name Comrade Didi Mabuza, Deputy President.
Shot that is found.
The WhatsApp exchanges extracted from the phone of a partially in-camera witness, Witness F, revealed an alleged close-quarter combat arms deal with someone he saved on his phone as Comrade Didi Mabuza, Deputy President. However, Witness F denies that this conversation was with the late former Deputy President of South Africa, but rather attributes it to Sphiwe Mabuza, the nephew.
Why do you save the nephew's phone under the name Comrade Didi Mabuza, Deputy President?
That is how I felt I should save it.
While Witness F denies that there was a market for the said arms to be sold and that he was the only one interested in the firearm, the WhatsApp chain of messages from his phone shows that a meeting was then arranged by the person saved as Comrade Didi Mabuza. Witness F then takes a screenshot of the said arrangement and forwards it to a person saved in his phone as Bra R. Steve Mfazi, whom he confirms to be a Stephen Mutsumi, but Witness F cannot recall why.
What is the relationship between the person who is described in your phone as Comrade Didi Mabuza, Deputy President, and Mr. Mutsumi?
They don't have a relationship.
Then why would you be forwarding an invitation to a meeting sent by Comrade Didi Mabuza, Deputy President, to Mr. Mutsumi? Why would you forward the screenshot to him?
I really don't know.
Meanwhile, the WhatsApp exchanges further revealed that alleged cartel member of Vusimuzi Cat Madlanga allegedly purchased impalas for suspended Deputy National Commissioner, Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya. The common theme in these texts suggests that Witness F was the alleged middleman for Sibiya in his alleged dealings, but Witness F denies this. The hearings continue. Carrim, SABC News, Pretoria.
Meanwhile, judgment has been reserved until Thursday on the matter between businessman Suleiman Carrim and the Madlanga Commission. Carrim approached the Gauteng High Court in Johannesburg on an urgent application seeking the court to stop the Madlanga inquiry from subpoenaing him to appear before the commission on Friday. But the commission is opposing the application, arguing that Carrim, amongst others, has enough time to complain, and also the chairperson is operating within his powers. The commission says that this application is an abuse of process. In more related news, former intelligence analyst Philasande Dokyeni has called on members of the parliament sitting at the ad hoc committee to open an inquest into the mysterious death of Deputy National Commissioner Sandile Mfazi. Dokyeni says at the time of his death, Mfazi was investigating a 1.6 billion security secret service fund regarding COVID-19 personal protective equipment, which was allegedly squandered by senior police officials. Dokyeni, who had already resigned when Mfazi was allegedly assassinated in 2021, says the SAP's head office is the first point of investigation.
This, Honorable Chair, is a mayday call. This is a mayday call and the last radio call for a general in the South African Police Service, whom we believe was assassinated, whom the forensic evidence that was found after a court-ordered exhumation said that he was poisoned with castor resin. I am making this mayday call as a plea to Parliament, because it is Parliament that elects the President. It is the President who, upon his inauguration, is flanked by the armed forces of this country. He is flanked by army generals, he is flanked by police generals. And when they salute that flag and salute the President, they pledge their life to this country, to this flag. And this is true of all officers who serve in this country. When one of those generals is assassinated and buried under a lie of COVID-19, it demands of us as citizens to speak to those who are in power, to plead with you, because we are powerless, to say, do something. It has been 5 years.
Convicted murderer and rapist Thabo Bester is set to challenge his prison transfer at the Pretoria High Court next week. Bester was moved from Kgosi Mampuru Maximum Security Facility in Pretoria to the Ebongweni Super Maximum Security Correctional Center in Kokstad, KwaZulu-Natal. The Department of Correctional Services last week confirmed that Bester was moved and further added that said offender transfers were guided by security risk assessments. Murderer and rapist Thabo Bester wants the High Court in Pretoria to declare the Department of Correctional Services' decision to transfer him from Kgosi Mampuru Correctional Center to one of the country's tightest prisons, Ebongweni in Kokstad, in KwaZulu-Natal, unconstitutional and invalid. Bester's lawyers claim that they were not informed of his transfer. And they want Bester to be returned to any correctional center in Gauteng for the duration of his current escape trial in Bloemfontein. Well, they say in court papers that Bester's sudden transfer has restricted consultation with their client and therefore has prejudiced his right to a fair trial.
Since he was transferred, we've only spoken to Mr. Bester twice, and both those times it was telephonically and it was less than 10 minutes combined. Now, before he was moved, he was able to make phone calls daily to his legal representatives to follow up on his outstanding cases, to give instructions. That is not possible anymore. And to add to that, obviously, Mr. Bester's legal team is based in Gauteng. Ebongweni is in KZN. It's more than 750 km away from his legal team. So it is quite disingenuous on the part of DCS at this point to say he would still be able to access his legal team, because that is not practically correct.
Well, earlier the Department of Correctional Services had indicated that all transfers were done based on risk assessments or analysis.
Processes to get the transfers approved were then put in place. The transfers were approved and then they were taken to a facility that is more safer than where they were at Kgosi Mampuru.
Well, the matter is expected to be heard in the High Court in Pretoria next week, Tuesday. Crisaldo Lewis, SABC News in Johannesburg. To this now, DA leader John Steenhuisen will not run again for party leader, according to sources within the party. Steenhuisen will address the media tomorrow in Durban about his political future and is expected to announce the decision to exit the party's leadership race. A source in the DA has confirmed the address, while another senior placed source within the party says they don't know what the address will be about, giving credence to the allegations of a deep division in the party. Steenhuisen's career started 30 years ago in Durban. The party's Federal Legal Counsel has been investigating Steenhuisen over the personal use of party funds and his public spat with former Environmental Affairs Minister Dr. Dion George, who has since resigned from the party. After a short break, water utility Randwater says efforts to increase the almost depleted water levels at reservoirs across affected metros in Gauteng continue. Let's give you the details when we return. Welcome back. Water utility Randwater says the efforts to increase the almost depleted water levels at reservoirs across affected metros in Gauteng continue. This follows outages in Midrand and large areas of the city of Tshwane following a series of failures in Randwater's bulk supply system over the past week. These included repair work at the Palmit pump station, a power trip at the Zakenbosch treatment plant, and another power failure at a Palmit system.
Residents in affected metros in Gauteng have been experiencing water interruptions for at least 5 days. They say they have been relying on water tankers supplied by the metros and coordinated by local ward councillors to temporarily address the crisis.
We are going on 4 days now without water, and there really has not been much communication, and we're not sure when the water is going to come back.
Like in a household of more than 5 people, having to depend on 2 buckets of water.
In Johannesburg, Executive Mayor Dada Morero says work is underway to build 4 more reservoirs to increase water supply capacity in Midrand and surrounding areas.
We have been working towards developing extra capacity in Midrand, and that is why we'll be completing the first tower. We are doing 3 towers, and we are doing new 4 reservoirs in this area because we are cognizant of the development. Most young people are attracted into Midrand for economic reasons.
Water utility Rainwater says its systems have fully recovered following the recent power outage, and pumping operations are currently running at full capacity. However, no time frame has been provided for when water supply will return to normal.
Following the power outage incident, Rainwater is aware of the slow recovery of water supply in the Midrand area, Lodium, Atteridgeville and surrounding areas in Tshwane, as well as the Tembisa area in Ekurhuleni.
Teaching and learning has since been affected by the ongoing water outages in some schools. Lerato Makula, SABC News in Midrand, Johannesburg.
Let's shift our focus to this now. The ANC in KwaZulu-Natal has taken a firm stance against underperforming municipalities, declaring 2026 the year of decisive action to fix a local government and turn around the economy. The announcement was made during a media briefing outlining resolutions taken at the ANC Provincial Task Team meeting.
Governance failures and political instability in ANC-led municipalities were placed under the spotlight at the Provincial Task Team meeting. The ANC has warned that unless these challenges are addressed decisively, they pose a serious risk to service delivery and economic recovery in KwaZulu-Natal. The ANC says municipalities flagged by the Auditor General and parliamentary committees will be called to account.
We have indicated already that where there were issues raised to the portfolio committee that affect all of the municipalities where we are governing, we are expecting that those in those municipalities first and foremost must account what are they doing with those issues and where those issues are, but they account to the ANC, but they must equally account to the residents.
Mabuya Kulu also reaffirmed the ANC's commitment to the government of provincial unity. He announced that a formal GPU framework will soon be adopted to strengthen governance, promote political stability, and ensure that service delivery remains the central focus priority. I'm Madlanga for SABC News in Durban.
Crime experts believe that collaborative approach between law enforcement and cash-in-transit companies is needed to curb cash-in-transit robberies. This after the latest cash-in-transit heist on the N2 in Durban last night. 2 guards were injured during the attack.
The province has not been experiencing a lot of CITs of late, but with the CIT that happened last night, it is a reminder that this crime still exists, and it demands more from police to come up with strategies to ensure that we tighten our lanes operationally, working together with cash-in-transit vehicles, in fact companies. The vehicles which are targeted have money, meaning that there's somebody who has got an intel that a vehicle is traveling on this road at this particular time with money.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's continue with news further afield. A diplomatic advisor to the UAE President Anwar Gagesh says that the Middle East does not need another confrontation between the US and Iran, and that Tehran needs to reach a nuclear deal with Washington. This as US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff arrives in Israel today. Witkoff will meet with senior leaders, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, ahead of possible talks with Iran later this week.
I think that the region has gone through various calamitous confrontations. I don't think we need another one, but I would like to see direct Iranian-American negotiations leading to understandings that we don't have these issues every other day. It is extremely important that many of the key issues that have rocked the bilateral relationship and has had an impact on the region, and foremost amongst them is the nuclear issue, is addressed directly, and that it doesn't become a source of instability and a source of questions like these every year or two.
All right, let's now have a look at your latest market update as recorded at 7:30 this evening. For a closer look at what to expect overnight and into tomorrow in terms of temperature changes, here's our weather update with information from the South African Weather Service. It's over to the weather desk for details.
Thank you very much and a very warm welcome to the weather desk. Now let's take a quick look at what to expect in our weather details for this evening as well as for tomorrow. Partly cloudy to cloudy conditions across the country for this evening. Isolated showers and thunder showers for most of the Western Cape province into the Eastern Cape, all the way into KwaZulu-Natal, the Free State, Mpumalanga, Limpopo, Gauteng, as well as the northwest, with scattered showers expected over the eastern parts of the Eastern Cape. Now tomorrow, those scattered showers expected to fill up the whole of the Eastern Cape province, all the way into the Western Cape and Southern Northern Cape. Widespread showers and thunder showers can be expected over the western parts of the Eastern Cape. Otherwise isolated for the rest of the country, with morning fog patches expected along the eastern escarpment. This evening we have a yellow level 1 warning for severe thunderstorms over the central and northern parts of the Eastern Cape. Tomorrow upgrading to a yellow level 2, spreading into most parts of the Eastern Cape. And remember, these severe thunderstorms are accompanied by heavy rainfall, very strong winds, as well as excessive lightning. Now looking into our overnight temperatures, reaching lows of 16 in Bethlehem, 17 in Bloemfontein, Johannesburg 16, 17 in Pretoria, 21 for Palabora, 20 in Richards Bay, 24 in Durban. Along the south coast, 22 for East London and Gqeberha. Cape Town will have a minimum of 21. Now maximum temperatures are expected to peak at highs of 37 in Bloemfontein, even Hotben, Kimberley peaking at 38, 31 for Bethlehem. Similar conditions for Johannesburg, 32 in Pretoria, 33 up north in Musina, 32 for Palabora, 34 in Richards Bay, 34 again for Mnambiti and Pietermaritzburg. Durban peaking at 32, 36 for the interior of the Eastern Cape, 29 in Gqeberha, 25 in George, Cape Town 31. It will be warm again in Sutherland with a maximum of 29. That's all from the weather desk.
And that concludes our time together this evening. Much gratitude for joining us. Until next time, it's good night. God bless. Pula.